Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a word. It's a question, actually. How? How? Como? This question trips up a lot of people. And it trips them up because we've always been trained in our world, through school, through our society, through our parents, to think that we need to know how to do things. Well, let me tell you that you don't need to know how to do everything. In fact, most of the most successful people in the world don't know how to do certain things. They don't know how to do a lot of things. Look at a world-class entrepreneur, for example. Most of the time, they don't know how to do the things in their company. They don't know how to do accounting. They don't know how to do legal. They don't know how to do engineering. They don't know how to create the product. They don't know how to ship the product. A lot of times, they're not an expert in any given one thing. They are just the person who has the idea, and they have that idea. They create the ecosystem to then fulfill the idea of having other people, other people's money, and other people's knowledge and efforts to then create this orchestra that puts the desire into reality. But what trips up a lot of entrepreneurs is that they think they need to know how. In my first business, I had put together a private equity company to buy a few companies. And my first industry that I went after was cybersecurity. And I literally knew nothing about cybersecurity. The only thing I knew about cybersecurity was passwords, okay? But I was looking at cybersecurity companies to buy, and what I saw is that the valuations on these companies were too high, and that because the asking prices were so ridiculous, it couldn't possibly get financing or have the debt of the financing be covered through the cash flow. So I switched to plumbing and roofing. And those companies ended up working out. I was able to get them financed. But what happened is that I didn't know anything at all. Like, I was 20 or 21 years old, and I had a plumbing company and I had a roofing company. And I literally knew nothing. Like, anyone in the building knew infinitely more than I did. But I had an idea, and I knew what I was seeking to do, which was purchase the companies. And I didn't know anything about financing, but I had an urge, I had an intuitive hunch that this is what I need to do. And I was very motivated to do it, and I did it. And I knew then that I didn't need to know anything. And then I went and did sales, and I sold a product that I literally knew nothing about, and I was one of the top salesmen in the industry. And then going to create other companies is, I've already known I don't need to know how to do anything. Like, there's nothing that I need to know how to do. And if I need to know how, I just ask someone. But what happens is people think that they need to know how to do something, and then they spend a bunch of time learning about it. They procrastinate. They think that research is going to help them. But let me tell you this, that when you have an idea, and the idea is hot, and you know that it's an idea beyond you, it's from your higher self, and it's whispering or it's screaming at you to do this, every minute that you put off is essentially lowering a percentage point that you're going to do this thing. Because the universe loves speed. The universe loves when you move freaking quickly, okay? It wants you to get out of the way and let the desire unfold and create momentum. Speed, speed, speed is the key. So when you are thinking of doing something, when you get this idea, the first thing that comes into your mind should not be how. Fuck the how. You don't need to know the how. You need to move towards the desire. Get out of your own way. Give it momentum. Do something that's going to move it forward. that's getting you closer in alignment with having this desire. And there's a bunch of stats out there about companies. And they say, 98% of startups don't succeed or something like that. And when they get these numbers, of course, it's hard to say where they get these numbers, but I would reckon that the majority of those numbers are first people that had an idea. People that had an idea, they didn't know how to do it, and they took their time, and then they forgot about it. They put it under the rug. They never did it. Probably the best ideas we ever had fall into that category. If you go to the graveyard, look at the graveyard, all of the people there surely had great ideas. But the amount of people that act on those ideas is a lot smaller. So we go from people that had the idea, did nothing. Okay, then the next group is people that had the idea and then they wrote it on a piece of paper. They wrote a plan and then they did nothing beyond that. And then the next group, maybe they create the company name, they make a website, and that's it. They never do anything. And then there's the people that create the physical product and they maybe do some other stuff and they don't end up following through. And then finally, you get through the people that created everything and then they go out of their way to sell it. And they find the market and then they're successful. But to do that, there's like a funnel. You have all these people with ideas, but how many people act on those ideas? The people that act on those ideas are the people that get out of their own way. They understand that they don't need to know the how. They just know that they need to make movement, they need to make progress, and they need to align themselves with the person that they wish to become. So if someone wants to be a successful business owner, what they need to do is act like a successful business owner. A successful business owner is going to take all the actions. They're going to get all of the answers that they need. They're going to get the people, the help that they need in order to fulfill this desire, because no one ever did anything really on their own. Like, you need help. You need other people. And the best entrepreneurs out there are extremely resourceful. They're able to go from who they know to who other people know, how they know it, and then connect all the dots. And Henry Ford, in the book Think and Grow Rich, was pointed out that he had a button on his desk. And this button he could press and he can get anyone in any department to fulfill a task, to answer a question, and to progress any project that he had on his mind. Meanwhile, Henry Ford really knew nothing about cars. All he knew is he had a vision for an automobile on 4 wheels that could have a V8 motor. And he envisioned other people driving it and a lot of people making that a part of their everyday life. And he created that. And he didn't create it on his own. He didn't create Ford, the company, with a plan because he was an engineer and he knew how to do it. No, he had the idea and he was able to put it together. And he didn't let the lack of knowing slow him down. So whether it's a business or some other goal that you have, you don't need to know the how. If there is a house that you want to buy, you don't need to think about how you can afford it because you haven't yet made a decision. Well, why are you talking about the house? You haven't even made a decision to buy the house. So until you make the decision, it's not going to happen. Until you make the decision that I want this Rolls Royce, you're not going to have the Rolls Royce, okay? You first have to get emotionally involved with the idea that you yourself are now already having it, that this is mine, I am deserving of this, that this is a part of my reality, and to align yourself with the thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors of the person that has it. So forget the how. You don't need to know the how. Know that the how stops most people, but the how is not going to stop you. The universe will reveal the path. It's not going to reveal the whole path at once. Remember, you are on a road. The road is dark, and all you have is your lights on front of you that could see 300 feet ahead. It'll tell you when to go faster, when to slow down, when to turn, when to go to the bathroom, when to stop, when to sleep. But you just need to know that the steps are going to unfold, and that by taking one little piece of action, you're creating massive amounts of momentum. Massive amounts of momentum. Momentum is what you want. The last thing you want to do is research the how, to think you need to know how to do it. That's what school taught you. School taught you that you need to know the how, and you need to be prepared with all the information before you do it. Like, good. If you want to gather information, be my guest. But don't delay. Put the project into motion. Put the manifestation into motion. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. That's part of the journey. Is I had this idea, I did this, I put this thing into motion. But it's more so the fun of the adventure is looking back to find out who had the keys to my house, who had the money to my house that I align with. And if you were to know how everything unfolds exactly the way that it does, well, that wouldn't be a fun journey. We're living in this life experience, and we want to have a good time. We want to live a story, live a life that is essentially a movie worth watching. And if you knew the movie ahead of time, like, that'd be really boring. It would remove all the fun. So let it go. Stop worrying. Just, you're getting this desire. Act on the desire. Act on the desire. Move towards it. Forget about the how. Don't let the how slow you down, because the how is what stops 99% of people. Logic is not your friend. You are now a divine creator, and you are a divine creator that uses your thoughts, feelings to create your reality. And all you're doing is continually being emotionally involved with this reality is yours right now. You are grateful that it is physically on its way, and in the meantime, you're here physically living in the now with your wish fulfilled that this is your reality. And that's all you need to do. The people will come to you exactly when you need them. The money will come to you exactly when you need it. Everything is in perfect divine timing. You just need to trust in that. You need to have the faith as small as a mustard seed to know that you put this desire out there. This desire did not originate from you, but from your higher self, who's seeking higher expression and fuller expansion. This is from the divine. It's meant to be fulfilled, and you're the person that's meant to fulfill it. So just get out of your own way, align with it vibrationally, emotionally, live in the now, and forget about the how. Don't make how a part of your decision making. Just do it. You are it. Thank you. It is already yours. It is already mine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Live in that love. Live in that gratitude. I'll see you guys in the next video.